There I was in the grocery store, at the gas pump, and just about every other place that was a necessity, and buying things I really couldn't afford. And the cashier would ask, cash or credit? To my unfortunate dismay, I had no choice but to pull out my credit card. Fast forward 2 years later, I had a rental house that was over $135,000 underwater, with tenants wanting to live for free, paying for my wedding, and living in San Diego. I was struggling, drowning, and barely making it, even after earning about over $80,000 as a captain in the U.S. Army. All my money was going to pay the mortgage, the rent, and credit card minimums. Consumer debt is a major issue in our country today through the use of our flashy plastic and the easy money of financial aid loans. I want to share with you why debt should be labeled as buyer beware and teach you through my own experience and professionals how to prepare yourself for financial freedom. I'll be sharing with you why personal debt can be harmful, the dangerous pitfalls and causes of debt, and how you can prepare yourself for financial freedom. Consumer debt in America is a very dangerous prospect. In Dave Ramsey's book, Total Money Makeover, he states that 90% of people in our culture buy things they cannot afford. I want you to imagine the things you spend your money on every month. Coffee at Starbucks, $2.20 per cup. Drink 5 cups of coffee per week, which is about $44 per month. Eating lunch at ELAC. Think about it. Dave Ramsey states that 80% of graduating seniors have credit card debt, which is even before they have a job. Manisha Thankar, CEO of Money's End Wealth Management, considers debt as a 4-letter word, which includes student loan debt. Thinking student loan debt is good debt will cause us to take on way more debt than we will be able to support given our chosen careers. What are we doing with our financial aid money? In Business Wire article, it states that average credit card debt per household is more than $16,000. Living in our cashless society, from our credit cards, debit cards, and even our ELAC Hire One debit cards, makes it easier to swipe our funny money. Now that I've explained how consumer debt is a serious problem, let me share with you the causes and pitfalls of debt. Torrance O'Dean, a professor from Berkeley, states that our biggest problem comes in plastic. As young adults, we have a need for instant gratification. Our purchasing decisions are perfect examples of our need to satisfy ourselves now, even if we can't afford it. When you buy something on credit, the longer you carry the purchase on the credit card, the more it will cost you in the end. And a common pitfall we all fall under is the credit card fees that the banks burden us with. Compounding interest fees, reward card annual fees for airplane miles, and if and when you're late, there's another fee for that. And if you review your credit card statement and your contract, you will be overwhelmed. Financial aid loans are easy money, but once you look deeper and educate yourself, it will not be the best way to pay for college. Dave Ramsey explains that the average college student graduates with about $15,000 in student loan debt after spending 3 of 4 years in an apartment and eating off campus. The student loans, on average, paid for an on-campus standard of living. He further explains that the student loans are like cancer. Once you have them, you can't get rid of them. Currently, my wife and I are paying over $600 per month for her USC graduate school loans. All of us want a nice car, but when we finance a car for $20,000 over 5 years with 4% interest, our monthly payment is $368. Once you do the math, we just paid $2,100 more for that same car. What can you do with $2,100 in your pocket? Now I've explained the causes and pitfalls of consumer debt. I will share with you how you can prepare yourself for financial freedom. Financial freedom allows you to live without the concerns of money. My interview with John Dolorfino, a financial peace coordinator, explained me his baby steps. The first step is to realize that we all have a spending problem. Even as young adults, we can start early to stay ahead. Avoid spending money we do not have. And more importantly, as Gus Sauter, Vanguard Group's Chief Investment Officer, avoid using credit cards for everyday purchases. Next, we need to have a written budget. We may not be making a lot of money, but the money we do have, we need to budget. By having a written budget, and more importantly, by sticking to our budget, will allow us to foresee expenses each month. Our budget will allow us to stay current on our debts to avoid costly bank fees. Next, we want to save $1,000 and put it in an emergency fund. Think of this money as your rainy day fund, and it may take time to get to this point, but by applying your budget, you can get there. Pay off debt one debt at a time. Once you have all your debt paid, the money you use to allocate for paying bills can be budgeted for saving and investment. Dave Ramsey explains by investing 15% of your income in retirement, once all your debt is gone, will provide you with the money you will need to live for retirement. The average household in America is $40,000 according to the U.S. Census Bureau. 15% of $40,000 is $6,000 a year, which is $500 per month. If we invest $500 per month into a tax-free Roth IRA from age 30 to 60, we can have nearly $6 million at our retirement age. Even if the interest rate is cut in half, that's $3 million. Wouldn't it be nice to be a millionaire? Today I have shared to you why debt is a major problem for us. I explained how personal debt can be harmful, the dangerous pitfalls of debt, and how you can prepare yourself for financial freedom. I want you to remember this. If you live like no one else, later you can live like no one else. The more you don't have to keep up with the Kardashians today, the more you can live better than the Kardashians tomorrow. Thank you.